What does Schefter know? Well, the NFL guru might just be hinting at who will be the Broncos starter week 1 against Seattle. Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for August 13th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
Bo Nix looked fantastic the other day during the preseason game against the Indianapolis Colts, going 15 for 21, leading the Broncos on 4 scoring drives, getting a touchdown. Things looked relatively good, and this is what Sean Payton envisioned all along. That's at least what Adam Schefter said on ESPN's NFL Live. Again, this is what Payton envisioned all along. Now, take a listen to this video because it really does seem like Bo Nix has already won the job. Take a listen.
I talked about this before, but it's worth repeating right now. It wasn't like they were sitting at number 12 and all these quarterbacks went in front of them and then they felt like, oh, let's go settle in on Bo Nix. Bo Nix was the guy that Sean Payton was after the whole time. Sean Payton was mesmerized by his skill set. And this was a guy that essentially the Broncos were hoping were going to get to him. They considered even trading up to secure his services. And because of all those factors, it always felt like it was going to be Bo Nix's job to lose this summer. Well, if you're going to go out and throw 15 to 21, throw for a touchdown, lead 4 scoring drives, that's not losing that job. That's winning that job. And he has to lose that job, which he certainly didn't do in the first preseason game before he gets the chance to start the second preseason game.
Now, Schefter is hinting at pretty much what all of Broncos country already knows, and that Bo Nix will be the starter week 1. It seems like he earned that spot on Sunday against the Colts. Now, it's his job to lose, and whenever Adam Schefter said something, well, you know there has to be some legitimacy behind it. He's not just going to go out there and throw you anything. He'd probably, if I had to take a guess, I'm just going to put my little tinfoil hat on here for a second. He's already had a conversation with someone in the Broncos facility, whether that be Sean Payton, whether it be George Payton, whoever it's going to be. And that was going to be the plan all along. Adam Schefter knew that they were going after Bo Nix in the draft weeks. And I mean weeks before the draft even happened. It's always been about Bo Nix. Always, always, always. So it would come as no surprise if he is the week 1 starter against the Seahawks in Seattle. But like I said, that's always what Sean Payton has envisioned. All right, we will stay in the NFL and we'll do a name that everybody is familiar with, but no longer a part of the Broncos squad. Ben Dinucci is heading to Buffalo. The Bills' 3rd-string quarterback, Shane Buechele, suffered a neck injury in their 33-6 preseason loss to the Chicago Bears and will miss an extended period of time. So Dinucci, the 27-year-old quarterback, spent 2 seasons with the Cowboys before being selected in the 2023 XFL draft and started 10 games for the Seattle Sea Dragons. Was also on the Denver Broncos practice squad in 2023. Well, he's now headed to follow up with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So a name that many are familiar with. And my question is, are they going to use a 1 for the eye of Dinucci again, or are they actually going to give him an eye? I guess we'll find out when he probably takes the field this upcoming weekend. Sticking with football, but heading down to the college level, the Colorado Buffaloes will not have a little number next to their name when they open the season later this month, but their first opponent will be considered one of the top teams from a lower division. We'll get into it. In Monday's preseason AP poll, the Buffs received just 1 vote in the AP poll. 5 of CU's Big 12 conference foes, they got numbers next to their name. Number 12, Utah. Number 7, Oklahoma State. Number 18, Kansas State. Number 21, Arizona. And number 22, Kansas. The Buffs will face all 5 of these teams. And of course, their preseason includes 2 rivalry games on the road in Nebraska and Colorado State. Go Rams. So the Buffs got a loaded schedule coming up. But first, they open up on August 29th against FCS powerhouse North Dakota State, who's ranked as the number 2 team in the football championship subdivision. Prime Squad is currently favored by 8.5 points for that game on the 29th. But like I said, they got a loaded schedule right now. It's like, all right, Prime, it's your time to shine. Go out there. Did you build enough of a team to be able to withstand some of these ranked teams in the offseason? We can't wait to find out now with the AP poll. Georgia tops the list at number 1. Really no surprise there after it's the 2nd straight year that the Bulldogs have opened up in the top spot. And then Ohio State comes in at number 2, followed by Oregon at number 3. Number 4 is Texas, and number 5, Alabama. I don't know if I will ever get used to seeing Alabama not number 1. And I know For a long time with Nick Saban, it flipped between Georgia and Alabama and all of that jazz, but still, it just like feels very off to me. And I think the world is waiting to see what happens with Alabama at that number 5 spot as well. We will head on over to the MLB now because the Colorado Rockies are in a very familiar spot. And it's not a good spot to be in. They're putting the very, very expensive Kris Bryant on the 10-day injury list. MLBs.com's Thomas Harding broke the news on Monday afternoon. It's the third time this year that Bryant has landed on the IL and the second time with a back issue. Bryant is in the third season of a 7-year, $182 million contract extension with the Rockies and has played just 159 games in 3 seasons. He has 17 home runs and 60 RBIs in 3 years with the Rockies. It's largely regarded as one of the worst deals in baseball history and one of the worst deals that has ever been handed out in the city of Denver, which I'm not going to lie is pretty hard to do when you have also the Russell Wilson contract. But Kris Bryant, this one has been tough for sure. Again, 17 home runs, 60 RBIs, but yet making $182 million. He was supposed to be a game changer. And unfortunately, it feels like whatever happened at that one hotel with the rock hard beds that they stayed at has definitely hurt the Rockies for a while to go. All right, to the Olympics we go. Let's go. So, Wes, the Olympics are technically over, but that doesn't mean the celebrations need to stop. We have the first ever player to lead the Olympics in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. And in Serbia's hearts for sure, and that's Nikola Jokic. So let's not just say Serbia either. Let's remember here in the Mile High City, Nikola Jokic is an absolute stud. Jokic smiled and blew kisses to the crowd in Belgrade as they chanted MVP at the 3-time winner of the award in the NBA. He carried the Serbia team to a bronze medal in Paris, earning a nod at the All-Olympic first team for his efforts. Also, can we please just talk about the fact of how many people were out there for a nighttime parade welcoming all the Olympians back into Serbia? There were so many, and I think we all need to agree the next parade we have, it needs to be a night parade because it looked to be popping back there as they all came out. And again, I love the kisses. I love him waving with a huge smile on his face. But Jokic also got back to his homeland pretty quickly with pictures popping up of him at the horse track on Sunday where one of his horses won a race. So that's really no surprise right there. We all remember when Nikola Jokic didn't want to stick around for the Denver Nuggets parade. He wanted to get back to Serbia too, but he was able to quickly do it. And then he's probably going to be coming out here relatively soon, everybody, because preseason is going to be here for the NBA before we know it. Now, speaking of basketball, the Olympic men's basketball drew huge numbers on NBC and Peacock, and I'm talking huge numbers. Saturday's USA versus France matchup drew an average of 19.5 million viewers, peaking at 22.5 million just after 5 p.m. That's the largest audience for a gold medal game since the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, a game that features stars like Shaquille O'Neal, Scottie Pippen, and Charles Barkley. How can we forget any of those names? So this drew massive numbers. Team USA pulled off the win 98-87 to win its 5th straight gold medal. And France, well, they might have some beef with Steph Curry, and they actually had quite the joke going on. So France might be pulling a reverse freedom fries when it comes to Steph Curry. After the Warrior star drilled 8 3-pointers in that gold medal game versus France, McDonald's France joked that it was considered dropping its classic curry dipping sauce. And they go on in a social media post and say, McDonald's France declared for obvious reasons, we are reconsidering removing the sauce for 4 years minimum. If you can't read French, obviously, that's what it says in English. But honestly, it's just too darn good not to share. All right. I'm already sad the Olympics are over. I'm excited that Bo Nix is probably starting here in a few weeks. I can't wait to see what Coach Prime is going to do. And I can't wait for the Rams to hopefully beat Coach Prime in the Rocky Mountain Showdown. There's so much to look forward to in the next coming weeks. It's really hard to believe. Let's see the comments, though. Let's see. Does anyone besides me really dislike the white on white unis? I think they need colored pants with the sleek white jerseys. Thoughts? I would like to see a different mix-up of it because the white on white is a little bleak, but I will say the uniforms looked so much better than I thought that they were going to. I was able to see them on the first day that they were obviously released, like up close and personal, but I was like, I really don't like these, but I think they're growing on me a lot more. I feel like a lot of people are having that exact same reaction. Would love to see white top, blue bottoms, that whole shindig, and I have a feeling we probably will since there's so many combinations the Broncos can do with it, but I'm kind of with you on, I think that it would look better with some colored pants, but I am starting to dig them a lot more. Let's see. Good morning, Rachel. I want to see what he does against the Packers. Truth. They have a better defense. If he does look good, then I might get in the back of the line on the train. Well, I hope you do. And that's because I hope he looks good against the Packers. Of course, we already know he is getting the start on this Sunday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time game here in the Mile High City. Bo Nix will, in fact, have the start. I'm curious of how long Sean Payton's going to keep him out there. I would hope at least, gosh, it is tempting. And I don't know if they would because they're still in a 3-quarterback battle, but I would love to see him for the entire first half of the game. I think that would really give Broncos country kind of a look at what he's able to bring. That's multiple drives going against the number one defense, like the number one starters for the Packers. So I would love to see that. I don't know. Hopefully we hear from Sean Payton tomorrow and he gives us a little bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. But if I had to guess, we probably won't find out until Friday when the Packers are in fact in town. Let's see. A night parade sounds like a good idea, right? How much fun would that be? I was like, it looked like such a party out there. I could not believe how many people waited for not only Jokic, but all of the Olympians to come back and welcome them back. I feel like we need to do that here in the Mile High City. It's not quite the party here, or just in the United States in general. I feel like we didn't get quite the party that they had back there in Serbia, and it looked like an absolute blast. Let's see. Tim Patrick will end up getting released. James Merrilat and I talked about this yesterday on Coffee Break. Go watch it, a Merrilat Monday episode. Tim Patrick definitely, unfortunately, and not because of anything of his own, obviously, like the injuries and all of that jazz, but there's so much talent on this Denver Broncos squad that it does just kind of, it hurts a little bit because you don't want to see him obviously get cut. He's bounced back from so much. It was great that he got that first catch and they had him involved right away. For locker room reasons, I could see them keeping him because he is that guy. He's that dog in the locker room. So many people have talked about it. But yeah, it's been an actual realization that Tim Patrick could possibly not make this team and be cut when they have to make those final decisions to get down to the number 53. So we will see. But you guys, I will not be on Coffee Break today. It'll be James Merrilat and Will Peterson, but that is because I'm going to go do a food tour. This is my dream. A food tour down at Empower Field at Mile High for all of the new things that they've added to the menu. That way I can give you what you need to buy, what was actually good, what's not worth the money, all of that jazz. So Will Peterson and James Merrilat will be talking, I'm sure, about the Broncos with you at 12 p.m. So definitely come hang out with them. Send some love their way. And then tomorrow I will have all of the juicy gossip for you coming out of Empower Field at Mile High of what you will want to try the next time you head out to a Broncos game. But that is going to do it, my friends. I appreciate you all so much. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Bye, everybody.